Hi, everybody, and welcome to our 5th live webinar with Seat Academy. Everybody waves along to everyone that's joined us. Thank you. So today, our panel is composed of Kirsten Free, who is our Deputy Administrative Director. Kirsten, go ahead and say hello.
Hi there, everyone.
We have Abigail, one of our parents, who also happens to be one of our marketing agents for Seat Academy. Go ahead and say hello, Abigail. Oh, I don't know what happened there. Did something happen now? Because everything stopped and went silent. Probably on my side. Sorry about that, guys. And then we have none other than Melissa Davids, who is our sales expert. Melissa, go ahead and say hello.
Hi, everybody.
Thank you, Melissa. And then we have Lydia, one of our parents, who's going to be sharing a bit about her experience with Seat Academy and how she is finding the subject choices for her kids. As that is one of our topics for today's session is about subject choice going from grade 9 into grade 10. So I want to start off with Melissa, if you could go ahead and get us rolling with what you'd like to talk about and our subject choices.
Okay, so yes, basically, we're dealing with subject choices. As you know, grade 9 is a very important year for to the FET phase for grade 10, 11, and 12. And one of the choices that they need to make is obviously choosing the correct subjects for their career that they will be choosing. So from my side, to enter the NSC or the National Senior Certificate exams, grade 12 learners must do subjects. Okay, 4 compulsory subjects, which is your maths, which can either be pure maths or maths literature, and life orientation, which is your 4 subjects, and then your 3 other subjects that you do is basically based on your career choices that you make. So the compulsory subjects, as I said, is the 2 official languages, literacy and life orientation. In order to choose your subjects for grade 9, or at least for grade 10, it's important to know exactly what your child would like to do when going to universities. So, strengths, the interests are. Do some research first, on the university application. See what the requirements is for those particular career choices that your kids have, and also compare the reports. Last year grade 8 reports with this year's term reports. See where their strengths are in the subject choices, so that obviously, even though us would like to be astronauts, not all of us can be astronauts. So we have to decide where our strengths lie, and we need to obviously support our kids in that way, also not discouraging them. I said not everybody can be an astronaut, and it from my side, Claire.
Wonderful. Thank you, Melissa. I must apologize. I forgot to let Lydia say hello to everyone. Lydia, if you could just go ahead and say hi to everyone.
It's okay. Hi, everybody.
Welcome to the panel, and I'm glad and excited to be hearing from your side. If we can just have a bit of a chat about some of the exciting things that we're doing. So I'm just going to share a little bit about my side and story on how I chose my career. So one of the biggest things with choosing our subjects, and I find this is a fear of most students, is sometimes you just don't know what you want to do, what you want to be. And fortunately, there is time to still find your feet, find your calling. Don't just go with something that you think is going to make you money, because you're never going to be happy in that job if you're going for something just to be richer in life. And one of the things that I had was I always wanted to be a game ranger from small. So I made sure to take all the subjects I needed. So I needed biology and science and physics and all those kinds of things, because I didn't want to be a vet. I was not going to put down any animals. I was going to be a game ranger on a farm, saving the wild animals. And then it just happened one night. I had a dream, and I dreamt I was teaching a bunch of children under an African baobab tree. And I woke up and I thought, that's the strangest dream I've ever had. And I thought, really odd. And then the more I thought about it, the more I realized, actually, that was a sign that I need to be a teacher. And I was told from the get go, I'm never going to make money being a teacher. But you know what is far more enriching? Is working with all the kids I get to interact with every day. And it's about changing their lives. So, as a teacher, I am glad with the choice I made. I'm happy that I listened to that voice that was telling me that that is actually what I needed to be one day. I can't imagine my life any different. I still love animals, but that doesn't change the fact that being a teacher is the most amazing gift I've ever been able to study for and to accomplish in life. With that, one of the exciting things that we are doing with SEET Academy is subject choices. So we're now going to be implementing this. I need to think of the words now. It's basically going to be an introduction to subjects that we are going to allow the grade 9s to do. And if Kirsten, if you could just explain further our idea that we have going with that.
Sure thing. Okay, so first of all, at the end of this term, we're going to be sending out a list of videos to all our grade 9 students. These videos will be an introduction from the FET's phase tutors, describing their subject, describing where you can go if you take their subject, what career choices you can follow, everything you need to know when you choose your subject. Then, at the start of the 4th term, the date will be announced later on, we're going to have an open week. This will give the grade 9 students a chance to go into the FET phase classes, live classes that happen every weekday morning. They can sit in on this chosen subject, they can see what the class is about, they can see how the teacher presents it, they can see all that. That will give them the opportunity to see if that subject is for them. Thank you, Claire. Over to you.
Thank you, Kirsten. So that's one of the things that we're launching and we're pretty excited about, because how many students get to say that they get to hop out of their class, join a grade 10 group and be, this is how the subject is taught. This is something that I'm interested in doing. Maybe they join the math class and they totally fall in love with not necessarily math lit, but physical science even, and then they're like, hey, I want to be a scientist one day, and they get that opportunity to realize how fun a subject is due to joining the groups and actually seeing the lesson and how it is conducted. I would also just like Lydia to share a bit with us about her experience and how she is finding it with a student that is in the FET phase. Over to you, Lydia.
Thank you, Claire. Okay, with my daughter, she was very undecided as well as to what subjects she really wanted to do. She knew she wanted to do maths though and physics, but the other subjects she didn't really have an idea of what to choose. So we basically broke it down to, what career choice you want to make at the end of it. But right now, you would say you want to be this. Most kids say they want to do this now, and when they finish off school, it's a total different thing that they end up doing, like us as well. You know, so we basically just broke it down into different, subjects and what opportunities she will have with certain subjects in the long run. And if, for example, she wants to attend university and she doesn't get her first choice, will she get a second choice with the subjects she's choosing as well? So I did a lot of research and, talking to a lot of people and from other homeschool groups as well that I'm on. And, we like had to break everything down and see what subjects she can do and what she can't do and what basically she will enjoy as well. It's not just doing the subject for the sake of doing it as well. You have to enjoy something to grasp it and to understand it better. And I also think it depends on the tutor as well. They have to interact with the tutor or be able to get along with a certain tutor to be able to understand what's happening and be open and be frank with asking questions and be free to ask stuff. And with SEAT, I personally have experienced it that all the tutors that my kids have had, I've had no problems, really. They enjoy the subjects and they do well because I think they also enjoy, how the teacher teaches them as well, and they're able to understand it. It's not like, medical terms and stuff. They use very simple, easy terms for them to understand. So yeah, my daughter's really enjoying it. She's doing the maths, physics, bio, and geography course. So yeah, she's enjoying it from our side, and I like do a lot of research for her as well to try and make her be on par with everything that you guys are doing as well. So yeah, I have no complaints from my side. Thank you.
That's amazing. Thank you, Lydia, for that feedback. I'd also like to ask your daughter, Adelia, who also happens to be there, if she could just share a bit with us about her experience and how she's finding her feet at Seat Academy.
I'm actually really enjoying it. I was a bit scared to go into grade 10 and stuff because it's really different from 8 and 9. But the teachers are like very welcoming and they're very understanding. They give you enough time for your assignments and they encourage you to ask questions and they're always available when you need to know something. And when they give assignments, they explain it very clearly and they're very nice and it's like really easy to talk to them about stuff. And like if they give you something, they are always available like after class if you need to ask questions about it. And they always understand like if you can't hand in at a certain time, they're always like understanding and they give you extra time if you need it, if you have like a valid reason. So I think it's really nice.
Oh, that's incredible. Thank you, Adelia. I appreciate you having the bravery to share your experience with us, which is great. I really appreciate that. If we could just have Abigail, if you'd like to share a bit about your experience as a parent, but also as one of our staff members.
Thank you, Clay. My son is very happy. He's in grade 5. He started early this year and he's just been improving. He's sort of handling things on his own now. And when I ask him, Mikhail, did you do this or that? Mama, I have it under control. My tutor knows and I'm chatting with him. And when he wants to ask a question, I'm going to send a message. And so that's the type of relationships that the tutors build with their students, even though there are so many students, the tutors, they're just amazing. And he also, the live lessons has given him so much courage to speak to others. He was always a shy kid in school, and now his true personality is actually coming out. I don't know. I think it has a lot to do with the digital environment. People don't realize that our kids are like that now. They are tech savvy. They want to do this type of learning. Also, he doesn't love writing, so that's also a plus point. And then, yeah, and from the Seat Academy staff side, oh my word, I like working with everyone. Thank you, Clay.
My pleasure. Thank you, Abigail, for that. I love hearing these stories about how the kids who have been shy have now come out of their shell because they're able to. And I think a lot of that has to do that you feel safe in your own home environment. You're not dumped in another environment that you don't know with people you don't know in a class situation where there's lots of people, all eyes are on you. Whereas in our classes at the moment, you can share your opinion. You don't even have to have your camera on. You can chat to the tutors in our little chat boxes in Google Meets. And even if you're too shy to do it that way, our students are able to contact the tutors privately and just be, I need help understanding this, and I was too shy to ask in class. And I think that's one of the greatest things is it provides our learners with a bridge, a way to bridge that gap between a teacher and a student, which I feel has been there for far too long in most school environments. And I'm not talking about private or government or anything like that, just any school environment, even when you go to university. You don't necessarily have that open communication with your lecturers, but this provides an avenue for our students to be able to communicate with the tutors. But not only that, it also builds, I feel that the students take on far more responsibility. I don't know if you as parents feel that way, Abigail and Lydia, but I feel that the Seat Academy encourages more responsibility from our students, that they take ownership of their work. Lydia, if you could just share how you feel about that.
Yes, Claire, I agree with you. You see, like previously when they were in mainstream, I've got two kids with seats. One's a grade 5 as well. So he was always like dependent, on getting help for whatever he's doing. But now that he's online, he's become more independent. He's a computer whiz anyway, so he understands everything, and it's fairly simple, your Google Meet, your Google Classroom. It's nothing too extravagant, It's simple stuff that even the smaller kids can understand and upload their own stuff. So he's able to do that, on his own, and he's not being dependent anymore on me having to do stuff for him. But my daughter, well, she's been with you guys from last year. She's been able to grasp everything as well, and she's also become more independent and more open, you know. So I think in mainstream, yes, they do have friends. I think that's what they miss more. But now that they're on other groups and stuff, other homeschool groups, there are kids there, so they do communicate. And I had to explain to them, this is the new way of life, basically, because of COVID that's come in and all this pandemic and stuff. This is the new way of life. This is your new way of communicating. So I have no regrets on going homeschooling, and online with my kids. So yeah, I agree. They've become more independent now.
Amazing. You see, that's what I love, the positivity involved in all the things that the kids do. And they're learning nonstop. And I think that's what we have to realize, is that we are no longer in the age of what it was like when we were at school. And I think that's taken us a long time as adults to realize that things aren't the same way as what they were anymore. So we're trying to build the new generation to think outside of the box of what jobs and roles they can perform, because back in the day, not many females were teachers, not many males were teachers, and how that's changed over time. And I feel that the more that things are changing over, the more our choices for after school start to change as to where do we go to from here? What do we work on from here? How do we get there? Melissa, if you have a bit more feedback for us.
Way to put me on the spot there, Claire. I'm busy doing something else in the background. Sorry, Claire, can you just repeat that for me quickly?
I was just talking about the way that our subject choices have changed slightly in the fact that our
Claire?
career choices aren't the same anymore.
I agree with you. Career choices are not the same. And we've got a huge variety of career choices currently available to students, things that we didn't even have. I mean, if I think about it, just coding, for example. I mean, anybody asks me what's coding now, I'm like, what? I don't know. But I mean, those are the type of things that wasn't available to us when we did this whole subject choices. It wasn't even a choice. I think the easiest thing that I had at that particular time was what was it called? CAT, computer application technology, and that was the basics of just typing. No, I'm lying. It was actually typing. Makes you wonder how old I am, but anyway, it was actually typing. We didn't even have CAT when we were. So, yeah, so I think the most important thing is
Oh dear, Melissa, you still with us? I feel we might have lost you a bit there. Okay, so one other thing that I would like to mention at the moment that Melissa was talking about now quickly before we start wrapping things up is that as we were saying, subjects have changed. There are so many more options for our students than what there used to be when we were younger, when we were in school, before we became parents and grown-ups. And I think the great part is that there's so much more things available as a homeschooler as well, which is something you don't always get at school. I'm very excited about the fact that we're going to start introducing extracurricular activities for the kids to start doing. So we have chess that we're going to start getting the kids into, music lessons that the kids can start joining. I've even spoken to someone who's interested in presenting yoga for those that are interested in yoga classes. In fact, we even have someone who wants to present drama. And I think that is amazing that we can actually provide this to our students. Maybe we have some future actresses in our academy or out there as homeschoolers who just need that avenue to get there, other than subjects that would be via a school. But other than that, we have the normal subjects that we do choose as well. I'm just going to get ready to wrap up after I have answered a parent's question. Monique asks, my son is in grade 2, but he battling to read, so would it be good to put him in? One of the great things, Monique, about us is that we don't only have tutors that teach in the class and allow the student and tutor environment, is the fact that if your child is struggling, you can actually request extra time with the tutor. It will be at a separate cost though, perhaps. That's something that we have to discuss with the tutors, but most of our tutors are on board with providing pre-recorded lessons that help with the lessons, as well as live sessions with the students that they are able to interact and get a solid interaction with our tutors. Is there anybody else who would like to ask or say something before we start wrapping it up? Anyone from our panel? Is that a no? Everyone's good to go. I see everyone's like, nope, we're done. So thank you again, everybody, for joining us in this wonderful session. And please feel free to join us again for another one. I believe it's going to be an interesting topic. Is it perhaps Department of Education and SACAI requirements for registration? Am I correct? Thank you, Melissa. Smart lady always knows what we're talking about. So thank you guys again for joining us. Thank you, panel. I appreciate you guys taking the time to sit and just talk to our audience today. And I hope that everyone has a wonderful day further. From myself at SEET Academy, thank you very much and have a wonderful afternoon.
Thank you, Claire. Bye, everybody.
Thank you, Claire. Bye,
Yes.
everybody.
Pleasure. Bye.
Bye.